Before I started wiping her, she would use washcloths to wipe. She would set them on the corner of the sink, and then she would turn herself around to wipe herself on it. Ew! And then she would throw them away. Our roommates started to notice that their late mother's washcloths were disappearing. She ended up buying more washcloths for herself, and instead of throwing them away, she had me wash them in the sink and then put them in the washer.
The way that my mouth dropped when I first heard this, the amount of disgust and rage that I felt while listening to this at work was insane. I spent the entire rest of the day thinking about this. Like, after I finished my shift, I went to my classes and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I literally couldn't even focus on my lectures. I just couldn't stop thinking about this and imagining how she could even do this, because all I could think about was the washcloth getting stuck up her ass. After hearing this information, it made me question a lot of the things that we've heard in previous videos from different people. And so I was sitting there and thinking about it. There were two things that came to mind. One, there was a video prior to this that Beck came out with that stated that due to Amber's hygiene, there was no property that was damaged. And my assumption is that these washcloths were the personal property damaged in the situations. And another thing that it made me think about was when Erica and Brittany came out with their whole story, or whatever it was. I believe it was Brittany who said it, but Brittany has stated that Amber had talked with Erica about how she needed to use a handy helper. Kind of made Erica's statement more validated, because I remember at the time a lot of people weren't really taking that statement seriously, and I think now with the fact that Beck has come out stating that she needed help with wiping and the various lengths she went to get wiped, now that Beck, being the reliable source, came out and said that, it makes me think that maybe there was some truth to what Erica and Brittany had to say.
However, I deleted all of our messages, texts, and other things. I didn't want to look at them anymore. I didn't want to read them or see them or think about them. They're gone, unfortunately, so I can't debunk or even look at the rest of the conversation for the screenshots she shows. She showed no proof, and I don't have any either.
So Beck states that they no longer have any proof. They deleted all of their text messages, any evidence that they had that was tied to Amberlynn. While I understand this was probably a part of their healing process, it kind of concerns me. It's not the fact that they did delete everything, it's the fact that they announced that they deleted everything that's concerning, because we know the way that Amberlynn likes to manipulate things, and we know that Amberlynn has text messages and photos, screenshots from the time that they were together, and we've seen the way that she has manipulated those screenshots so far. So after this information came out, she uploaded it to her Instagram story, and she states, "Beck, you caused this, and for that I will never stay silent again. You never stayed silent to begin with, babe. Good job. I'm not afraid of you anymore." Beck's not anybody to be afraid of. If you want to be afraid of somebody, look in the mirror. What you're doing isn't healing or taking the high ground. It's immaturity and shows that you haven't changed at all. I think that they have only gotten to this level because of your pokes and prods. You've continued to be disgusting by not taking accountability, not being truthful about the situation and the state of your relationship, and just overall because you continue to take jabs at someone who is your victim, which is overall just a disgusting behavior. Remember making fun of your ex by posting their dirty underwear on social media? This is something we've all known, like the viewers have known for years. This got leaked when they were together. Or when you harassed your 18-year-old stepsister at their workplace because you wanted to date her even though you were almost 30. I have no idea what this is about, truthfully, so I can't really say anything on that. My guess is that Amber's blowing it out of proportion or just pulling shit out of her ass. You haven't changed at all. You've just gotten better at manipulating. Again, good job. You're a good actor, remember? I don't know, this is just such a vile thing to post after your ex-partner has come out with these type of accusations where you were abusive to them. Shortly after that, Amber posts another Instagram story that states, "Thank you everyone for your sweet and kind messages. The support during this time means the world to me." Beck shared their story of how I was controlling in nature is one thing. The whole in nature bullshit is dumb because you're framing it in a way that makes it seem natural for you, which controlling is is not natural. Like, being that controlling in a relationship is not natural. Being controlling, period, in a relationship is not natural. And for you to say in nature, to frame it as if it is a natural thing, is just gross. As I took full accountability and apologized privately multiple times years ago, and now also publicly, there were never any genuine apologies and no accountability. We've talked about this before. You cannot take accountability if there is a but and a jab afterwards. Sharing personal information during extremely vulnerable times that I'm ashamed of to thousands of people who belittle me and attack me every single day just to pay me in a certain light is sick beyond words. To do this whole twisting of words and making it seem like it's just an extremely vulnerable time in my life, it's just a way for her to manipulate language, and it's time that she faces the consequences of her actions. Beck has reached a low that they promised they wouldn't reach, but the minute I stuck up for myself against the lies they attack, I think the low is probably violating a bathroom sink counter. I might be unhinged, and admittedly so, but they are manipulating their unhinged behavior behind a mask. I fell for the manipulation before, and I'm not doing it again. Babes, there's no manipulation from their side. Strictly facts. After Amberlynn posted those Instagram stories, she went on to a members only live stream and basically crashed out. I personally don't give that ogre $10 a month, so this is just what I've gathered from the community. One of the things that she states is that Mr. Snowflake sexualizes her in his content and flirts with her. She stated that if her and Mr. Snowflake were in a room together alone, that she would be fearful and uncomfortable, therefore insinuating that Mr. Snowflake would SA her. In a few sentences after that, she states that Mr. Snowflake is sexy, saying that she is terrified to be in the same room with him, but then calling him sexy in the next sentence is just making a mockery of the crime and of the victims who have gone through it. Because if you believe that someone would SA you, whether they fit any stereotypical traditional beauty standards or not, your brain will not let you believe that they are attractive. And accusing someone of SA so willy-nilly like this is a sure way to make your audience not believe any of her other SA allegations. She also states in the same live stream that Beck has never taken accountability for what they did in the relationship, but they did in a previous video by stating that they know that they could have been more affectionate to her or called Amber more pet names. She also goes on to threaten Beck, stating that there is some sort of 4-letter word or name that she could text Beck and would shut this whole thing down essentially, but refuses to tell the audience what that word is. Since she stated that it was a 4-letter word, this could be way off, but this is just pure speculation. I wonder if the word she's trying to threaten is the word weed, but we all know that Beck had stated just recently that they used to smoke. They used to care if people knew about that, but now they don't. Or I also thought maybe the word coke, but again, that's just pure speculation. I'm not sure if Beck is one to dabble in those types of things. Later in the live stream, Amber also compares her preference to the nickname Amberlynn to Beck's preferred name, but Beck has continued to refer to Amber as Amber. And a lot of people got heated over this issue because one deals with the issue of identity versus the other being just a preferred nickname. And this happened after many people were calling her out for dead naming and using the wrong pronouns. So a lot of people got fired up about this, stating that one dealt with an issue of identity where Beck doesn't feel that they belong with that name. They feel that it is not who they are. And while Amber's is just a preferred nickname, she also does something really disgusting where she talks shit on Beck's partner, claiming that they are abusive and toxic, stating that she has this insider friend, which we all know is Eric or Ricky, stating that they saw Beck's sister at some store and Beck's sister was just talking shit about Beck's partner. And I think that this is just weird to bring up and disgusting because it just seems like a low blow, like you don't have anything else to discuss, so you're gonna start taking jabs at the people Beck loves. And then I also thought this was quite ironic because when the Dalton situation got brought up with Alexis and Alexis posted Dalton's face, Amber's response to Alexis was that it was not right for Alexis to post his face and his information because Dalton is not a public figure, but went ahead and did that with Beck's fiance. fiance, because Beck's fiance is not a public figure. After Amberlynn's members only live stream, Beck came on to YouTube and posted a community post. It reads, Amberlynn came on her live stream last night and said some disgusting things about my current partner, who is not a public figure and who she has never met and does not know. Nothing she said had anything to do with the things I've called her out for in my videos. She thinks she can drive a wedge between myself and my loved ones, even my own family, but it won't work. I won't make a video about this because it was nothing but a woman spiraling and blindly throwing punches in every direction. Amberlynn, whoever told you these things is no friend of mine, clearly, even if they used to be. The only person's opinion of my partner that matters is mine, and she has never controlled, forced, or even asked me to do anything that I have or have not done for my relationship, my family, and my personal healing and growth. She supports me coming out about my experience because she is the supportive partner. I don't have to tell you it's wrong to publicly make statements about someone who is not a public figure and has nothing to do with what I've come out and said about you. I hope you do take some time off to reflect on your recent behavior. I hope you take enough steps back to see that I never had to say any of what I have said in my videos. If you want me to stop talking about you, if you want your audience to form better opinions of you, there are easy solutions. Taking accountability without simultaneously talking negative about the person you are apologizing to is not hard. Instead, you once again threaten me in an attempt to get me to stop talking. What you did last night and in your public live stream was vile, and the things I said in my videos were only a response to that. The more you try to pick fights and hurt me instead of actually listening, actually apologizing, actually working to correct things, the deeper you dig yourself into this hole you're spiraling yourself right into. And all I gotta say to that is period. So after that, Amberlynn took to her community tab and stated, hello, I feel it's important to be transparent with all of you. As many of you know, I've been dealing with the fallout from Beck sharing personal details about our relationship, me, and spreading lies, exaggerating situations. Girl, it's been a tough time, and I've been doing my best to navigate through everything. I'm human, and sometimes my emotions, especially with BPD, shut the fuck up with the whole BPD excuse. BPD is not an excuse to treat people in your life like shit, or people in general like shit. Get the best of me. This whole situation is extremely heavy and unfair. Imagine this happening to you. What would you do? Well, it wouldn't happen to me because I wouldn't get so fucking fat I couldn't fucking wipe my own ass, and I would have to use the counter of the sink to wipe it for me. I will no longer stay silent. You never did. In a situation where I felt threatened to shut my mouth. With the disgusting things Beck has been saying recently, I have lost any respect I had for them. You couldn't even respect their pronouns and their preferred name. I want to be very clear that this absolutely doesn't take away the accountability and apologies I have expressed already. There was no accountability nor genuine apology. Those things still stand. All of these things can happen at once, especially in a 5-year relationship that was extremely complex. Amber, it is not complex. You were an abuser and Beck was a victim. Two people can be shitty at once. No. One person can be shitty and the other one has to wash up. I was shitty. I listed out reasons why, but I wasn't all bad, and I will tell you one thing. Beck was never all good. I've said this before, but even if Beck was not all good, which likely is true because no one is perfect, I highly doubt it was as bad as what the fuck Amber did, and likely I think it came from a place of resentment. One of the hardest parts of all of this has been the overwhelming amount of harassment I have received. The fact that I feel like I'm being attacked and misunderstood by thousands feels awful, especially in a situation where I am being truthful and vulnerable. This whole situation has validated that no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how much proof I show, I will always be the villain. I show screenshots that Beck is lying and it still isn't good enough. First of all, the screenshots were bullshit and you held them up for like 0.5 seconds. Nobody could even see what you were talking about. And you also lied about having Beck's card because Beck came out and posted a picture in their video proving that they're the one that still has the card to the joint account that was originally Beck's account. So there was no proof. Well, they get to say whatever they want and it is automatically believed because anyone who is versus Amberlynn already gets a pass just for that. It's hard to keep pushing through when I feel belittled and dehumanized. Oh my god, not the dehumanized bullshit again. You know what dehumanized you? Never mind, I'll be nice. This situation has left me feeling like a shell of a person because of everything that has been happening and the toll it's taken on my mental health. I've made the decision to take a step back from posting. I need time to focus on my well-being and to clear my mind. I don't know for how long. I don't know what my next steps are. I just know that I need some space to breathe and focus on myself. Thank you for those who have shown kindness and support during this time. It truly means more than I can express. Thank you for not allowing Beck to taint your view of me, because you know how to be nuanced, have critical thinking, and you know that there's a gray area in most situations. I'll be back when I'm ready. Love, Amberlynn. To make the assumption that everyone who doesn't support you just doesn't have the skills to critically think is truthfully absurd, because the people who are critiquing you are the people who are critically thinking, who are putting the puzzle pieces together, who are realizing that your actions don't match up to your words. We are the critical thinkers, and you fucking hate critical thinkers because they call you out on your bullshit. So after that, Salty Crab posted a community post and essentially said that they apologized for taking down their previous video because Amberlynn had contacted her and threatened to copyright strike the video because of the members only live stream clips. We also know now that she also did this with Zach. The first thing that came to my mind is that this is just really dumb, because in the beginning of Salty Crab's recaps of the members live streams, she didn't use any videos. She didn't use any clips. She just summarized what Amberlynn was saying. So she would watch the live stream and take notes and then would tell us what Amber said. It would be in her own words. Amberlynn didn't like that and said on another live stream that reaction channels are just twisting her words because that's not how she said it. That's not the way she meant it, whatever, right? So then Salty Crab started to put small clips of the live stream into their videos. I watched the video before it got taken down. It was transformative. It was within fair use. I think that maybe what concerns Salty Crab is because Salty Crab's identity is not really known on YouTube. I think that she has made it a point to try and conceal her identity, and so having the copyright strike, if she was to appeal that, she would have to put her name and her personal information, which we know that if Amber were to have that kind of information, that would be something that she held over Salty Crab's head for a long time. So then Amber continues to take a break from social media while continuing to be on social media. She goes to her Instagram stories and asks the viewers to ask her a question. And so one of the questions states, "Why do you think Beck is bringing up your hygiene issues when it has nothing to do with sharing their side?" And Amberlynn put a sticker of a stack of money. I don't think it is at all for monetary gain. I think it's truthfully about just calling her out on her bullshit, and these are kind of just the consequences of Amber's actions. And it does have something to do with them and their side, because they're the ones who had to help with the hygiene. They're the ones who had to be the caregiver. So yeah, it is a part of their story. Another stating, "Why do you excuse symptoms of NPD as your BPD? I thought two things can be true at once." Amber says, "Maybe I am a narcissist. Who knows? Two professionals have told me I'm not, but they could be wrong." Two professionals aren't going to flat out tell you that you aren't based off of your conversations. They would ask you, why do you feel that way? What makes you think that? What has been said to you that makes you believe you could have NPD? They're not going to flat out say that you don't have it because they genuinely don't know. Another stating, "All Beck says is take accountability, but you have multiple times." And she replies with, "Thank you, someone who is actually listening." We are listening, babe, and we don't like what we hear. So then the Grim Reaper gets onto Instagram and posts about Amberlynn. And Emily states, "When you're desperate to feel anything other than heartbreak, you learn to blur the edges of red flags." A clear jab at Amberlynn. "You find yourself clinging to the warmth someone offers, even if shadows linger behind it. Sometimes the warmth you cling to is just the glow of the gaslight, and by the time you realize it, you've already burned. The grief has a way of making comfort feel like salvation, and in the quiet ache of loss, you only want to see the light, even if it flickers." So the Grim Reaper posted this, and to me, it just seems like a clear jab at Amberlynn, stating that there was a lot of red flags that was ignored, but they were seeking comfort. Emily was seeking comfort because of their grief, which is debatable. So then under that post, somebody comments, "My first relationship after grief led me to a partner with significant mental health issues, BPD being the most disruptive, and I convinced myself I could handle it because I was a newly graduated mental health professional. I say that because as a fellow helping professional, we are always at risk for burying our feelings by helping others because it's such a familiar place to us. So please know that at least some of us that choose to stay a part of of your page did so not for drama, but because we see you, we see your pain and can relate. When I read this, I don't know really if this is someone who is genuinely trying to make a connection or somebody who is just trying to be slick and like push for information from Emily in a sly way. But the Grim Reaper replies with saying, "Wow, thank you for sharing that with me. When the BPD got brought up initially, I also had the mentality of convincing myself I can handle it because of my professional background. It's very different on a personal level, especially when you're already in a vulnerable state, because when there's a strong pattern of skilled manipulation involved." Juicy. So after the Grim Reaper posted that and commented that, apparently Amber got a whiff of it and she took to her Instagram stories, and we're gonna watch that together.
No, I'm done with relationships. I am going to be single for the rest of my life.
I highly fucking doubt that. I really don't believe that she will be single for forever. I think that she is going to be single until somebody's desperate enough to date her. Truthfully, if we're being like dead ass, with the amount of shit that's come out and the way that her online presence has been the past year, I'm not really sure anybody would want to date her.
Oh, for sure, because that's not the stuff she was saying to me 3 nights ago.
Now, girl, you know what you were doing with that shit. I originally had thought they had never really broke up, but based off the shit that Emily has been talking in her comments and in the captions of her post, I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that they might be broken up. 3 nights ago, Emily was just a little horny or something and was like thinking about Amberlynn laying on her or something.
I genuinely, from the depth of my soul, am not that type of person. But it seems like I keep getting mixed up with the wrong fucking people. Like, I'm just done. Like, I don't want any friends. I don't want any girlfriends. Nothing. I'm done with...
I think it's so weird that she says, I can't believe, like, I'm running into all of these horrible people. You're only getting tangled up with these people who are quote-unquote so disgusting because they're coming out and saying the disgusting things that you have done to them. And so, of course, you try to spin the narrative and make people believe that they are the ones who are disgusting, when in reality, they're just saying the things that you've done to them. So truthfully, you are the disgusting one in this situation. And I don't know, this might be a compliment, but I don't know why, but I think it's the filter. But the way that her head is like shaped in these videos, she kind of looks like a Pop Tropica character.
Everyone and everything. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't. And it's like, I think the craziest part is like that was in response to me saying that I miss her. I didn't even say anything bad about her. I've never said anything bad about her. I have stuck by her side. I have stuck up for her. I have lied for her.
Lied? I thought you don't lie anymore, Amber. Not that we needed any more proof because we already knew, but I think that just kind of confirms that she did lie about the feeder shit.
I've been there for her. But Amberlynn's just a master manipulator. I'm just the fucking wizard of manipulation. I'm going to be the professor at the manipulation college. Like, what the fuck?
Also stating these things like the whole, I'm just the manipulator. I'm the manipulator professor at the manipulative college. Whatever, right? Like, that right there is manipulation because you're pretending to be the victim. Again, based off of your dating history and the patterns of your behaviors, we know that you are the manipulator in most situations.
Ever. So answering this question completely honestly and transparent, I feel broken. I feel lost. I feel hurt. I feel confused. I feel like I don't know what to do with my life. I
have my headphones on while I'm listening to this, and I don't know if it's the upstairs neighbor in her apartment, but I can hear a loud thumping. So I don't know if it's the upstairs neighbor in her video or if it's her heart pounding, but there was some sort of pounding. It's just so funny that she states that she feels broken, because you wouldn't feel so broken if these weren't the things that you've done, nor if you would have just shut up in the first place, then these things wouldn't have come out about you.
Like, I don't know who I am. And I don't know. I just want to feel better. I want to be better.
Then go to therapy.
And I just feel like everything is just a lot.
Alright, so that's going to conclude my recap. I hope to make this a series. I want to title it Read All About It, where I just recap all of the events that has happened in the Amberverse for the week, similar to Salty Crabs, Salty Sundays. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope that you enjoyed. Bye!